retrograde coming up, or some type of retrograde coming up. A lot of people hate them. A lot of people feel like they just ruin their lives. They make things more complicated. Technology always messes up around this time, and people tend to miscommunicate with each other. But let me tell you why Mercury retrogrades are important to life. Anytime we progress as people, there needs to be time for reflection. And that's basically the point of retrogrades. Things go backwards because... Sorry, I just got a text. So, things go backwards during this time because we need to clear up energy that we either pushed to the side, never properly dealt with, or never noticed in the time being. So, maybe you may notice that your phone starts messing up more during a retrograde because you should have got a new phone 2 months ago when you still ain't got a new phone. Okay? It's basically the energy is coming back around to remind us of stuff that we forgot to do or didn't notice to do back in the day. Maybe this is a time where exes and old friends always come around during Mercury retrograde, and it's because there's a lesson that we haven't learned with them. There's a cycle that we need to complete with them even if we are done. And sometimes it's just a test. Sometimes the universe, the other side, tests us to see if we really are forward thinking, forward movement. Because they say, you know what, let's add some old energy back in the mix to see if they really said they moved on. So don't fall for it, but just know that the things that start to come back around or mess up during these retrogrades, it's for a reason. You know, like I said in the beginning, all things, every type of movement, you have to have time to reflect, to look back. I know everybody says move forward and don't look back, but sometimes you can move forward better if you actually look back to see what you was looking at back then, or to see how you was doing stuff back then. So that's why Mercury retrogrades are important. I have no idea who is in this live, but shout out to you because I can't see who's watching it. So when retrogrades come around, don't feel like, a retrograde is coming back around. Or don't see it as something negative or irritating. And see it as something that is necessary for our progression. You feel me? Like, we can't just be looking at every time the universe, God, the Orishas, whatever you believe, Allah, sits us down and say, look back as a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people that's moving forward and not looking back, they're making tons of mistakes because they ain't never going back and reflecting on the old mistakes they was making. Okay? Oh, hey.